This sequence is called Etchings. It's about recognizing positive resistance. We're going to start off in Sukhasana, cross-legged position, sitting up tall. Rest your hands on your thighs, palms down. Relax your shoulders. Be mindful that you're sitting evenly across both of the sitting bones. Make a subtle adjustment if you need to. And then increase the cross of your legs so that you have shin over shin instead of ankle over ankle, so that you can feel more length coming into your low back. If it's not comfortable, you can take the ankle over ankle position. You want to feel like your thighs are moving away from your hips. Then close your eyes and start to breathe in and out through your nose and just notice how your breath is feeling. If you'd like to take a cleansing breath or two, you can go in the nose and out the mouth a couple of times, clearing out some space for your breath to flow. And then when you feel like you can take a full deep breath all the way in and all the way out through the nose only, start to breathe evenly so that your inhales and your exhales are lasting the same length of time, parallel breaths. Draw your low belly in. Lengthen your spine up through the neck, all the way through the crown of the head, bringing your chin so it's parallel with the floor. And we'll take a few more breaths here. Just notice how you're feeling physically, emotionally, and mentally. Keep your breath flowing evenly. Set an intention for your class and then release your intention to the universe. Total trust and without any conditions or expectations. And then at the bottom of your exhalation breath, keeping your low belly strong, gently open your eyes, uncross your legs, and come onto all fours for some cat-cows. Lining up your wrists underneath your shoulders, lining up your knees underneath your hips. Line up your feet behind your knees. Tuck your toes forward so that you have a really strong foundation in your feet. Spread your fingers wide. Take a deep inhale from your tailbone all the way up through your crown. And then on the exhale, tuck your tail under and start rounding your back towards the ceiling, chin tucking last. This is your cat pose. On the inhalation, lift from the chin and chest, spine goes toward the mat, tail will come up last. This is your cow. Then tucking the tail, rounding the back all the way up towards the ceiling, coming into your cat. On the inhale breath, coming into your cow. Doing a few more rounds of cat-cows. Warming up your spine, noticing how inhalations are upward-facing motions, exhalations are downward-facing motions. You may want to bring your cows into modified upward-facing dogs, or round your back super, super deep like a scared cat. Drag up on your fingertips. Do a couple more rounds of cat-cows. Your breaths and your motions synchronized. And then come to stillness. Neutralize your spine. The toes are tucked under, fingers are spread wide. Taking a deep inhalation to fill the space in your upper back, all around your shoulder blades. And on the exhalation, pull the belly in and press the seat up and back into downward facing dog. Coming into your down dog, move your feet back away from your hands an inch or two. Parallel and hip distance your feet. Walk out your dog, bending alternate knees. Pedal the feet left and right, left and right. Take a little hang time in each of your heels. Lift one leg, drop the heel toward the opposite buttock, open up the hip, side body. Roll your ankle out. Go in both directions the same number of times. Put that foot down, pick up the other leg, drop the heel toward the opposite buttock, lengthening all through your side bodies. Roll your ankle out. Go in both directions. And then place that foot down. Hold your downward facing dog, taking 2 more breaths. We come to down dog so that we can rest, so that we can reconnect with our breath. And if you need to realign, you should realign. Hands shoulder distance apart, feet hip distance apart. Gently look up and walk up to the space in between your hands and hang forward. In Uttanasana, it's a deep forward bend. If you have a back issue or you're pregnant, when you're in this forward bend, you want to keep your fingertips or your palms onto the ground, and you can bend your knees as much as you need to so that you're hinged at the hips and not rounding at your waist. Those of you that are not injured in your back, you're not pregnant, grab opposite elbows and put your thumbs into the creases of your elbows. And everyone now is going to turn the head right and left in the no motion, nod the head in the yes motion. Take your head around in little circular motions, go in both directions an equal number of times. Stilling the head, switching out the grip so the other forearm is in front, moving the hips now from side to side, bending alternate knees, hips left and torso right. Feel how the weight tries to go to the outer edges of your feet. Really work to keep the weight even across your feet. And then balancing the sides, come center line and hanging the arms to the ground like a rag doll. Back injuries, pregnancies, keep the feet hip distance, the knees bending. Walk your hands up your bent legs. Otherwise, you should toe heel your feet so that they're side by side. Hit the thighs back, tuck the tail down, and round yourself all the way upright. Once you're all the way up, roll the shoulder heads back and down twice. And we'll do some sun salutations. Coming to the top of the mat, bringing your hands to heart center, connecting with your breath evenly in and out through the nose. Eyes are open. On the inhale breath, raise your arms upward towards the sky. As you exhale, bow forward. Take your right foot back, followed by your left, and hold the high push-up plank. Bend the elbows straight back and lower all the way down to the ground. Extend your arms 12 inches out in front of you, palms down, tops of feet down. Inhale, curl and lift the chest up for low cobra. Pull the hands back on either side of the chest, tuck the toes as you exhale, lift the seat up and back into downward facing dog. Take the right foot up, followed by the left, forward bending at the top of the mat. Inhalation, rise up and arc backwards. Exhale, bow forward. Now take your left foot back, followed by your right, into the high push-up plank. Bend the elbows straight back and lower all the way down to the ground. Hands forward, tops of feet down. Inhalation, lift into low cobra. Hands come back, tuck the toes. Exhalation, press into downward facing dog. Take your left foot forward, followed by your right. Fold in at the top of the mat. Inhale, rise and arc back. Exhalation, bowing forward. Right foot back, followed by the left. Lower all the way down to the ground. This time, take the hands wide and high on the fingertips. Tops of feet are down. Inhalation, curl and lift the chest up into auspicious cobra. Exhalation, bring the hands on either side of the chest, tuck the toes, press into down dog. Take the right foot up, followed by the left, forward bend at the top of the mat. Inhalation, rise, arc a little bit further back. Exhalation, bowing forward. Left foot back followed by the right, holding high push-up plank, and then lowering all the way down to the ground. Taking the hands wide and high on the fingertips, tops of feet down. Inhalation, curl the chest up into auspicious cobra. Exhalation, hands come back in, tuck the toes, lift into downward facing dog. Left foot comes up, followed by the right. Fold in at the top, and this time bend your knees and sit down into an imaginary chair. Utkatasana. We're moving into some sun salutations. B now. Sitting in your chair deeply, put some weight to the heels, arms extending up, low belly pulled in, low back long. Shoot it up, and on the exhale, bow forward. Look up halfway, and now step or jump back, chaturanga. You can lower all the way down. Inhale and curl into cobra, or bring it from the floor into upward facing dog. Then exhalation, press back into downward facing dog. Take your right foot and step it forward for warrior one and hold this pose. Warrior one, the right knee is bending, the left leg is straight, the low belly's in. You want your chest squared towards the short end of your mat, arms up, eyes up. Now bring the eyes forward, bring the hands to heart center, and lay the torso on your front thigh. Come on the ball of your back foot. Take an inhale breath, and on the exhale, lift up into warrior three. Level your hips. Draw your low belly in, strengthen the thighs, eyes forward, neck long. Microbend into your right leg. Place your left foot back down, warrior one. The inhale brings the arms up. The exhalation takes it deeper. And on your next exhale, we're going to place the hands on either side of that front foot. Step back and lower all the way to the ground. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhalation, press up and back into the downward facing dog. Taking the left foot forward for warrior one. Left knee bends 90. Outer edge of right foot is down. Chest is squared forward. Arms are up. Eyes are up. Eyes forward. Hands to heart center. Lay the torso on the thigh. Come on the ball of your back foot. Take a deep inhale. On the exhale, lift into warrior three. Level the hips. Pull in the belly. Strengthen the arms. Strengthen the thighs. And then microbend into your left knee and drop it back into warrior one. Use the inhalation to raise the arms up. The exhale takes you deeper. And then frame your forward foot and flow, lowering down. Inhale, curl the chest up. Exhalation, press up and back into downward facing dog. Looking up, step or jump forward and fold in. Bending your knees, sit down into the imaginary chair. Shoot it up, and on the exhale, bowing forward. Looking up halfway, step or jump back. Flow through your vinyasa. Inhalation. Exhalation, downward facing dog. Take your right foot forward for triangle, placing your right hand behind your right ankle, straight legs, strong low belly, lifted chest, extending the left arm up, looking up if it's comfortable, imagining shoulder blades are on an imaginary wall behind you. Taking that top hand, placing it to the hip, bending in the right knee, move the right hand forward, and on the exhale, lift up into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Gently place the feet side by side and fold in. Bending the knees, we sit down into Utkatasana, the chair pose. Open the arms to the outer walls and then crossing the right arm underneath the left, taking the right leg over the left, wrapping the foot as you're able behind the calf for Garudasana, the eagle. Bending both of your knees, pull in your low belly, send those elbows up in line with the shoulders, hands away from the face. Fly your eagle forward for 3, 2, 1. Gently unwind, reach up, arc back, exhale, bowing forward. Looking up halfway, we're going to step or jump back. Inhalation, curl into up dog or cobra. Exhalation into downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Taking the left foot forward for triangle, coming directly in. Left hand is behind left ankle. Legs are straight. Low belly in, chest lifted. Rotate the chest away from the earth. Align the shoulder blades on that imaginary wall. Top arm up, look at the top thumb. Place the top hand on the hip. Bend into the left knee. Move the left hand forward on the exhale. Lift up into the half moon. Align. Notice if your standing foot is facing forward. Pull in your low belly, turn and twist the waist, chest, shoulders, neck away from the earth. Gently step the feet side by side, fold in, bending the knees, sit down into your imaginary chair. Open the arms to the outer walls, crossing the left arm underneath the right and taking the left leg up and over the right. Wrap the foot as you're able. Align. You want your joints in the center. So you've got your wrists over your elbows, over your knees, over your ankles. Squeeze. Fly your eagle forward. Go deeper for 3, 2, 1. Unwind, stand up, arms up, arc back, exhale, bowing forward. Looking up, step or jump it back and flow. Inhalation, lifting the chest, exhalation, pressing up and back, downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths in this downward facing dog. Realign, reconnect with your breath, and rest. Looking up, step or jump to the top of the mat, fold in, bend your knees, sit into your deepest chair, and we're going to finish it out. Come all the way up and bring your hands to heart center. Grab some water if you need it. Grab your props, blocks, straps, bolsters, whatever you need for the rest of your practice, and then come to the top of the mat and we'll continue into the rest of our practice, keeping in mind our positive resistance. So as you stand to the top of the mat, feel your feet pressing firmly into the earth, and also feel yourself lifting away from the earth at the same time, so that you have this beautiful connection where you feel that you're pressing down and the earth is pressing back into you. Stand taller, belly in, chest lifted, neck long, hands at heart center. Even feel the palms pressing into one another, and feel how that opens the chest even more. Eyes are open. Inhale, sweep the arms above the head, arc back. Exhalation, bowing forward. Looking up halfway, come back and lower. Inhalation, curl the chest up. Exhalation, press up and back into downward facing dog. Taking your right foot forward for Parsvakonasana. Coming up for our separate leg forward bend. Placing the hands to the hips, turning your feet so that they face directly forward. Looping the tail under, lifting the chest. Exhale, come forward where the hips meet the thighs and walk the hands back through the legs. You can press up into Sukhasana 2, which is the headstand, the tripod headstand. If you are a beginner, stay in your forward bend. Those of you that come all the way up, rotate the thighs internally toward each other and press through the ball of the big toe side of the foot towards the ceiling. Gently come down if you're in your headstand and place your feet where they started. Take a deep, deep breath. And then walk the hands forward, place the hands on the hips, inhalation, come all the way up. Stay in your wide-legged stance. Extend the arms to the outer walls at shoulder height. Turn your left foot in slightly. Turn your right foot to face the top of your mat. On an exhale breath, bend into your right knee, taking it down 90 degrees for warrior two. Low belly in, arms extended. Bring your gaze over to the left. On your exhale, extend, slide to the right for side angle. Putting your right hand behind your right ankle, taking the left arm all the way over, reaching above the head, one long line from your wrist down through your shoulder, all the way to your hip, to your outer ankle. Back injuries, pregnancies, top arm is straight up in line with the shoulder. Use the arm and the leg and feel how the hip starts to open. Press the leg and the arm, again feeling that positive resistance to help you turn and rotate your chest away from the floor. On the exhale, bring your hands on either side of your front foot into high runner's lunge. Take a deep breath, relax through your head and your neck. The arms come above the head. Pull your belly in, and on the inhale, come up into Anjaneyasana. This is the high crescent lunge. Take one more breath here. If you need to modify, you can put your back knee down, and we'll flow. Put the hands to the mat, step it back, and lower. Inhalation, curl the chest up. Exhalation, press up and back. Take your left foot forward for Prasarita Padottanasana, coming up with straight legs. Separate leg forward bend, hands onto the hips, loop the tail, lift the chest. Exhale, hinging forward, right where the hips meet the thighs. Walking your hands back, grabbing your outer ankles or the outer edges of the feet, placing the head to the floor. You're welcome to go up into Sirsasana 2. This is the headstand, the tripod headstand, if you didn't do it on the other side or you'd like to do it again. Deep breaths. Shoulder blades are down, away from the neck. Outer thighs engaging. Lower belly draws in, up, and back towards the low back. Go a little bit deeper. Headstanders, slowly make your way down. Use your belly strength to help you stabilize as you lower. Taking a deep breath here. Inhale and come all the way up, staying in your wide-legged stance, extending your arms to the outer walls at shoulder height. This time, turn your right foot in slightly and your left foot so it faces the short end of your mat. On the exhale breath, bending into your left knee for warrior two. Looking to the right, sliding, extending, reaching to the left for Parsvakonasana, side angle. Hand down, other arm, either all the way over or up if you need to modify. Taking a few breaths here. Keep engaging your straight leg and pressing into both of your heels. Pull your low belly in more, and then you'll be able to turn your entire chest away from the floor. Frame your forward foot for high runner's lunge. Let your head relax. Bring your arms to reach above your head at shoulder distance apart on your inhale. Peel yourself upright into Anjaneyasana, your high crescent. And if you put your back knee down on the other side, put your back knee down here. One more breath. Hands come down, step back, hold high push-up plank into the count of 5. Slowly start to lower. 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down to the floor. Bending the knees, reach back and grab hold of your feet for Dhanurasana, floor bow. Holding the ankles or the feet from the outside. The exhale breath draws your low belly in. On the inhale, come on up, upper, lower body, lifting at the same time. Use the strength in your arms to help lift your legs, lift everything up, look up. I always say bows, look for your toes. And slowly lower down. Tuck the toes under, bring the hands on either side of the chest. On the exhale breath, press up and back into downward facing dog. Come down onto your hands and your knees. Bring your right leg forward, your left leg back, lower into Hanumanasana split. Stay upright with the upper body. You should feel a gentle twist. You're turning your chest so it faces forward, but you've got to get those ribs up off of the waist so you have space. Engage your legs more. Go towards the pose. Go more deeply into it. Engage better. When you engage more, you actually create space on the inside of your body. Good. And then bring your back leg forward for Navasana boat. Bring your back leg around and then lift your feet up off of the ground. You can use your hands behind you to help you balance. Send your legs up and send your arms straight forward from the shoulders and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower. Cross your legs, plant your hands, and press up and back into down dog. And then lower down onto your hands and your knees. And bring your left leg forward. Come into your split. You'll need to bring your right hip slightly around. Bring the right side of the ribs around. Lift the ribs up off of the waist. Engage your thighs. You'll feel the inner thighs lengthen towards the big toe side of your feet. Strengthen your outer thighs up towards your hips. Come a little bit lower, lift the chest higher, and then bring your back leg forward and balance on your seat, lifting your feet up, coming into Navasana. And if you want to add a little bit of extra advanced action to this pose, you can stack your hands behind your head, fingertips to wrists with the elbows extending to the outer walls for 3, 2, and gently release, lying all the way down onto your back for wheel. Turn your fingertips towards your heels. Place your feet hip distance apart, parallel. Take an inhalation to the chest, and on the exhale, lift up. If you're not doing wheel, you're welcome to do bridge, just keeping the shoulders on the ground and lifting the hips. And we're going to slowly lower down. Put your feet together with your knees open. Supine butterfly pose. 2 breaths. Use your hands to close your thighs. And then kick over into plow, bringing the feet behind the head. Hold your back in your hands, palms flat, and lift the legs up towards the sky for shoulder stand. And if you're more advanced, you can bring your shoulder stand into bridge. This is more advanced. Be very mindful if when you start to bring your right foot towards the floor, you feel any pressure in your wrists, any pain in the wrists, you just don't do this. Don't continue. You want to only come into the bridge if it's comfortable for you. And then once you get both feet down and you're in this really big bridge holding your back, use your belly strength and bring yourself back up into shoulder stand. And then come back up into shoulder stand and take 2 breaths. Bring your feet behind your head into plow, and keeping your legs as close to your body and as straight as you can, slowly start to unwind and lie all the way down. And we'll take 3 breaths here. The mind should feel pretty clear. Don't be in a rush to congest your mind with a whole bunch of stuff. Take a deep, deep breath. And then bend your knees and grab hold of your feet for happy baby. Separate the knees so they're the width of your shoulders. Flex your feet and hold your feet either from the insteps or the outside of the foot, or you can dive through, lacing the arms through, and rock east and west. Use your low belly strength to rock east and west, back and forth. Stillness in the center line. And we have another opportunity to create more space in our spine. So you want to take a deep inhale, and on the exhale, as you pull down on your feet, pull your belly down and draw your tailbone under, and you'll feel the low back really open. And then gently release, placing your feet onto the floor. Pick up your hips and move them up and over to the left. Arms extended at shoulder height. For supine twist, pull the knees into the chest. On the exhale, drop the knees over to the right. Keep hip over hip, knee over knee, ankle over ankle, shoulder straight across from shoulder. And if you have your left shoulder down, look left. If it's not down, look at the ceiling. Then lift your top leg followed by your bottom. Pick up your hips and move them over to the right. Pull the knees into the chest, and on the exhale, drop the knees over to the left for supine twisting on the other side. Align. Breathe. Lift your top leg, followed by your bottom. Come to center. Release each of your legs long. Bring the arms down by your sides. Close your eyes. Shavasana. And I'll read to you a little something. This is about positive resistance and how to recognize it. Climbing up the marble staircase, lined with intricate iron railings, the sun dusting the far corners of each step in its early morning light. The fourth floor of this historic building is dedicated to fine art. The smell of chalk and drying paint fills the air as the final steps are reached. And thoughts swirl in our heads that we might someday become even a fraction as great as any of these artists we study and are in awe of. Hope and curiosity are as much a part of this place as the light and the chalk and paint, all forming images of who we are and what path our life will take. We struggled so hard to get to this place. The ambition is palpable, and the mystery is profound as we try to become the image that we imagined everyone wanted to see, only to discover who we really are, here on this fourth floor, where nothing else can judge us but the truth. We realize that there are stories written upon these walls, and that they can speak to us of everyone they've watched before. They know of the struggles, the triumphs, and the fears that we feel. They know that we don't want to fail, but we're not sure what it really means to succeed. They know that we will find our way, even when we trip on our way up those stairs. Day after day, week after week, we make that journey, making our way to the etching room. High ceilings and windowsills large enough to stand in gaze out over the park across the street. And if we let the ageless quality of this place settle in, we begin to realize what it might mean to be content. We can just start to imagine our life becoming whatever we have the courage to create as we lay the metal plates in place and apply the ink. Oil and water are applied and meet as opposites, both equally necessary, each holding strong in its own space. The paper is gently placed, aligned with the most precision we can muster, and as we press the plates to the paper, the natural resistance of the oil and water mix with the ink. We hold steady and strong in our own space. And when the pressure is slowly released, we remove the plates to reveal our beautiful art. These etchings are the same as our memories, the warmth of which we should always hold close, just as with all of the art that comes from the pressures of life. Our journeys are filled with climbing, with sensations and experiences, shaped by everything that stands in our path and guided by the ones who came before. All of these many pressures leave their etchings upon us, every one unique, like a beautiful map of our lives. Cherish this beauty and wisdom in yourself and make a point to see it in others. Celebrate these etchings, for they are who we are. Namaste.